there, this is Mr. Jones, and I'd like to help you with dividing integers. Right? Let's look at, first of all, a key concept that we need to remember about division with integers. The quotient of two integers that have the same sign is always positive. In other words, a positive number divided by a positive number is positive, and a negative number divided by a negative number is also positive. Okay? On the other hand, the quotient of two integers with opposite signs is negative, and it doesn't matter which of the numbers has a negative sign. It could be the divisor or the dividend. If either one of them is negative and the other one is positive, then the quotient is negative. Okay? For example, 6 divided by negative 3, a positive number divided by a negative number, the quotient is negative. Okay? And recall that the same rule applies for multiplication. If you multiply two numbers with opposite signs, the result is always negative. Okay? If I have negative 6 divided by negative 3, the result is positive 2. Okay, well, let's see if we can apply that process in a word problem and work this out. A rock climber is at an elevation of 10,100 feet. After 5 hours of climbing, she has descended to 7,340 feet. So remember, in this case, she is actually coming down the mountain. Okay? Find the climber's rate of descent. That's her vertical speed. Okay, and notice the formula is given to you here. The vertical speed is equal to the final elevation minus the initial elevation divided by the time that it took, in this case, her to climb. So her final elevation is 7,340 feet, and I'm going to subtract from that 10,100 feet, and then I'm going to divide that by 5 hours because that's the length of time that took her. So distance divided by time is equal to rate. Okay, well, recall that you're subtracting numbers, but a subtraction problem can always be turned into an addition problem by adding opposites. So in other words, 7,340, rather than subtracting 10,100, I'm going to add the opposite. I'm going to add negative 10,100. Okay, so, and then divide that by 5. Now remember the rules. When I have numbers that are being added that have opposite signs, I take the difference of their absolute values. So I'm going to take the absolute value of negative 10,100, which is 10,100, and the absolute value of 7,340. That, of course, is 7,340. So I'm going to take the difference between those, 10,100 minus 7,340, and that gives me 2,760. And then when I'm adding numbers with opposite signs, I keep the sign of the number that had the larger absolute value to begin with. So negative 10,100 had the larger absolute value, so the result, the sum of those two is going to be negative 2,760 divided by 5 hours, so it's feet, divided by hours, so it's going to be feet per hour in terms of her rate. Okay, and notice a negative number divided by a positive number is negative, so that gives me negative 552 feet per hour. Okay, and that's her rate of climbing. Now notice the negative sign indicates that she's coming down or descending the mountain. Okay, her elevation is decreasing with time. Alright, well, just remember those couple simple rules. Dividing numbers with the same sign, the result is positive. Dividing numbers with opposite signs, the result is